Hello, everyone. First, at the outset, I want to thank organizers of MapCon who had been very kind to me to give me this very important topic to me on backache. And my special thanks to Vipul Gupta Saab, who had been doing a fantastic job. Look, I was those people who knows me, uh, but there are people, youngsters. I was initially in army after doing my DM. I was one of the few first DM in the country in rheumatology and immunology. And then after doing my DM, I was in armed forces and working in army hospital. This called Army Hospital Referral and Research. It is near Dhola Kuan in New Delhi. And now, after leaving army, I'm working in this equally prestigious hospital, Gangaram Hospital. So I feel I'm lucky that I am serving in two good hospital. So this is me out of uniform. My brief is to talk on backache, and I tell youngsters to go through this. This is a book edited by me, but this is actually official publication of Indian Rheumatology Association, and it has a chapter on backache. And if they can read this, this is one official book of rheumatology in this country. And my brief is to talk about approach to the low backache. Uh, Probably as a physician, I never realized that it is so common. If you read, it is the most common reason for seeking medical attention, second only to respiratory issues. So respiratory issues are most common, cough and cold most problem, but backache is also very common. 84% of adults will have low backache at some point. Most episodes are self-limited. So I can tell you, in this crowd who is listening to it, we all had some or other time a backache which becomes okay. So it's a self-limited. ठीक है, हुआ है, ठीक हो गया. Nobody knows what was the diagnosis. कभी हुआ था, कभी. So we really don't know sometime. We all lump it कि ठीक है, हुआ था, backache ठीक हो गया. Some suffers from chronic or recurrent course with substantial impact on quality of life. So we all see in OPD these patients sometimes they come with chronic pain, recurrent pain, which is affecting their quality of life. And sometimes we feel some people have to leave job actually. So you feel very sad about and any structure of the back. Now you can imagine what are the structure. You can have structured ligaments. So the pain can arise from the ligaments, from joints, from bone, from periosteum, from muscles, from blood vessels, from these annual fibrosis and nerves. So pain can arise from any structure. So we all dump them as a backache. Commonly, the pain where from it coming actually is most commonly is from the disc, intervertebral disc, because that is the most vulnerable position is the intervertebral disc and facet joints. They are the common. I can tell you as a physician, because this conference is a physician, we know so much about chest pain, but we hardly know much about backache. So we must learn about back. Sometimes we always feel it's a job of orthopedic surgeon. No, orthopedic surgeon's job is to operate if there is some. If diagnose has to be done by a physician. So the 85% of those with isolated low back pain do not have a clear localization. So you can imagine 85% patients have a low backache, but there's no clear, we don't know whether it's L4, L3. We usually call it strain or sprain. Why strain is sprain? Look, starting from Dada Dadi time, we have heard about ankle sprain very well. So ankle sprain we know very well, but when it comes to lumbar strain, or that is popularly called as lumbago, sometime our physician half you ask half of the physician don't know what is lumbago. So basically we know about sprain ankle. So you must remember sprain back is called lumbago. Usually, but there is nobody, not many studies on histopathology, no anatomical location. We really don't know because they are self-limiting. After some time, some bed rest, some painkiller, they become all right. Uh, the most common causes of mechanical comes from these, like we just discussed, from the disc, herniated disc, or any other cause from the disc. They come facet joints, sacroiliac joint, sometime from soft tissue, muscle, fascia, and bone itself. So all these arising, these are called mechanical pain. Sometime backache can be because of these conditions, like it can be because of some neoplasm, like we know about myeloma, we know well. We know sometime the tumors in the retroperitoneal space, some pathology in the pelvic organ. We all miss it actually every day. Sometime because of some infections, it can cause inflammatory. Of course, we deal with it. That is the ankylosing spondylitis or spondyloarthropathy. And of course, sometime because of metabolic causes like diabetes, and even gout can cause, we have seen. And abdominal aortic neurism, aortic aneurysm. I'm very sure in our lifetime we have seen one or two patients of aortic. Basically, whatever is in the retroperitoneal space. Kidney is also retroperitoneal, so pain arising from retroperitoneal, and even intestine. They can all cause these symptoms. And now, this photograph we must learn actually before we proceed further, because sometime as a physician, probably we always feel this is not our job. So very simple, that we know about this vertebra, all know. We know about the transverse process of the vertebra, and we know the spine. This much probably, and disc. All of us we understand. Sometime we get confused about the, say, I can tell you about, say, what is the structure of the disc. So disc has a outer structure of fibrous tissue, which is called fibrous annulus fibrosus, and there's a in between in the center, which is a nucleus pulposus. Even if you don't remember the name, just remember outer layer is fibrous, inside layer is the pulp type of things, which can herniate. So that we must know. Another thing we must learn is that there's a ligament which is called as the, sorry, just a minute. This is a ligament which is called, this anteriorly placed ligament is called ligament flavum. So there is an anteriorly placed ligament. This is the transverse process. The spine posterior ligament is called ligament flavum. Sorry, this is a posterior ligament, and these are called facets. Facets where each vertebra they unite, and this is the sometimes as I was talking about ligament flavum, it can be thickened ligament flavum, and these facets joints can be hypertrophied facets, and the sometime there can be spinal stenosis. Look, there was this is spine, and that become stenosis because of this. So all these pathology can be there. So what all can be there? Sometime this pain can arise from the bone itself. So that is a bone. Sometime it can arise from the disc. Sometime it can arise from the nerves, and sometime it can arise from muscles and other places. Now, this is a huge list of causes of back pain, which I don't want to bore you. You can check. But I'll just, as I said, it can arise from muscle, bone, ligaments, or the disc. But the most common cause we must know. Because the moment patient enter in your OPD, at least you should be able to put a diagnosis. So the most common diagnosis is, like, suppose somebody coming to your OPD with swelling of the ankle and limping, and just a 1 to 2 days duration, and just started after injury. You will say, "Arey, kuch nahi, it is sprain ho gaya." So we call it lumbar strain or lumbar sprain. 70%. So you must remember, And this nobody should, even an MBBS should not miss a lumbar sprain. Yes, there are other causes like the disc. So degenerative processes like your hairs are become white, your disc is also becoming white. So degenerative disc disorders and some issues in the facet joints, mostly age related. So we always write degenerative. We always presume that it is because of age, but it's not necessary. The disc can herniate even at a younger patient. Yesterday I had a patient from Allahabad, and he was not convinced that his cervical spine is significantly herniated. In fact, it needs urgent surgery, and he had all the classical feature of the cervical myelopathy, compressive myelopathy. I said, you need it, you don't need anything. And spinal stenosis, I said, it can be. Sometimes osteoporosis is common, especially because in our country, so osteoporosis fracture are common. They keep having little pain, especially somebody come from, and we forget about doing DEXA scan. Sometimes DEXA scan can pick up a very severe osteoporosis, and we are getting an MRI. It won't be seen in MRI. It is best seen in X-ray. So you must have, if you feel there is a compression fracture, you must get X-ray or a CT scan. Of course, sometimes they can move, vertebra can move on each other, which we call it basically spondylolisthesis. And of course, sometimes can be fracture, congenital diseases, especially, it can be kyphosis, scoliosis, or the 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 some neoplasm. So 97% patient has a mechanical low back pain, or non-mechanical conditions are all these listed here: neoplasia, infection. So neoplasia, multiple myeloma, you should not forget. If some old person comes with backache, you should not. Metastasis, you should not forget. You all remember LLB, liver, lung, bone. So bone is the, if somebody has a backache, it can be a secondaries there. Of course, I had a patient of leukemia. One young patient came with backache. I was very sure a young patient, such a severe backache, it can't be, it has to be something. And when we did a peripheral smear, it was leukemia. And of course, spinal cord tumors, retroperitoneal tumors, and primary vertebral tumors I have not seen. But infection, osteomyelitis can be there. Spinal septic discitis can be there. Sometimes spinous abscess, epidural abscess can be there. Herpes. One patient, in fact, I admitted him as a backache. Then he developed herpes. So that is an inflammatory condition which we rheumatologists deal is a huge group called as spondyloarthropathy, SPA, which I will discuss. Paget disease of bone, and sometimes prostatitis, endometriosis, pelvic inflammatory diseases, renal diseases, aortic aneurysm, and including pancreatitis, cholecystitis, and penetrating ulcers. They can all cause. So most causes are mechanical. So you must remember, if somebody comes with backache, the commonest you will call it lumbar strain, or a spinal strain, or a sprain, or a lumbago. So that is one. Or problem is in the disc, or problem is in the facet joint, and then some other causes. So mechanical is a huge, and it's a huge bread and butter of orthopedic surgeon, and because physicians don't understand it, so they all keep referring to the orthopedic surgeons. As a physician, you are the one who is supposed to diagnose these, whether it is a problem is a sprain, or a strain, or a disc problem, or it is a problem in the facet joint. 2% patients have visceral pain, which I told you is starting from, you can have a pancreas, you have GI tract, you can have aortic aneurysm and all. And 1% patient can have tumors or infection. And your very good history is required. So it's very simple. You ask कि भाई कब हुआ था? सर वो 2 दिन पहले मैं एकदम से कोई वजन उठा रहा था. So diagnosis is lumbar strain or lumbar sprain. Right? Take rest, take some painkiller, take some rest in the house, some, it will become all right. He will ask next question whether hot fermentation, cold fermentation. You said don't do anything. For acute injury, always remember, for always acute injury, it's a cold fermentation. For a chronic injury, it is a. You must have seen in the cricket field, people keep running with that bucket of ice. That is for the cold injury. So for the cold fermentation and acute injury. So you must remember as a physician, any acute injury require a cold fermentation. Then, of course, a physical examination, so that you don't miss something else. Maybe basically a physical examination to see whether a spinal cord is involved or not. So that you must see that, and of course the diagnosed studies. I think a patient himself carries nowadays MRI, and also you don't worry about it. He'll by the time he reaches to you, Ayurvedic doctor, to everybody will do MRI and whatnot will be already done. A doctor who cannot take a good history and a patient who cannot give one are in danger of giving and receiving bad treatment. So both doctors and patients are required. Uh, a very good description of pain is meticulous in detail. So we always ask if somebody is having pain for a longer time, whether this pain is there more when he walks. He said, "No, sir, doctor, I don't have pain in the back when I walk. In fact, when I walk around and I become better, when I get up in the morning, that is the time I'm having a severe backache." So that is there are two types of pain. One is called inflammatory, another is called mechanical. So inflammatory pains are more in the morning. We'll discuss it later on. And ask the patient to demonstrate. I always give him pen. I say you pinpoint where is the pain. Otherwise, if he says mere kamar mein ho raha, we really don't know whether he's talking about which place. So let him demonstrate the site of pain and correlate the pain to the disability, whether it's mild, moderate, severe. I always tell him mark it 0 to 100. How much is the pain? And of course, onset कैसे हुआ. सब चोट मैं कुछ काम कर रहा था, मैं टेबल खिसका रहा था तो मुझे दर्द हो गया. So onset, ड्यूरेशन कितने दिन से है. सब 4 महीने से पेन है. So that is significant. Or 4 days, then say, and progression of the symptoms. ठीक हो रहा है क्या? ठीक नहीं हो रहा, सब बढ़ रहा है. So then you get more alarmed by the this detailed history, and you must radiation of pain to the leg. पैर में जाता है तो कहाँ जाता है, पैरेस्थीसियाज हैं क्या, morning stiffness. I said for the inflammatory nature of the pain. If somebody says, "Doctor Saab, I have more pain when I get up in the morning," so that is the inflammatory nature of the pain. And of course, the bladder bowel symptom. Yesterday, the patient who had come from another patient who had come, he actually had an injury, and he came that I have impotency, and I'm taking a lot of medicines. But when I asked him, he had bladder bowel symptoms also, and his history of injury in the spinal cord and treatment received. So you must do all this detailed history. You must take red flag sign. If 70% are lumbar sprain and strain, you don't bother. They will become all right. But you must ask the history of cancer. If somebody is having pain for many months, a cancer history. Also, I had earlier breast cancer. Now it has become all right. That is okay. But I'm having a lot of backache. So, metastasis, previous history of cancer, weight loss. Now, today only I had a patient of weight loss, and we got a spine, in X-ray. Actually, we got an X-ray chest, and in X-ray chest, I can see the spine had secondaries, and bladder bowel control will raise your danger. It is something, because bladder bowel is involved when your spinal cord is involved, and of course the significant motor weakness, sensory weakness. Again, probably looks like that your spinal cord is involved. Loss of sensation in the buttock is called saddle anesthesia. That is important. So significant trauma related to the trauma, history of trauma. Steroid use, physician must take this question on the first. भाई बहुत दिन से कोई दवा तो नहीं खा रहे? नहीं साहब, कोई दवा तो नहीं खाता. स्टेरॉइड खा रहे? नहीं खा रहे. साहब मैं कोई वो चूरन लेता हूं. So steroid use, osteoporosis, because that because that steroid leads to osteoporosis. Severe pain after surgery in past year. बुखार तो नहीं आता, कोई यूरिन में इन्फेक्शन तो नहीं है. Are you taking immunosuppressant or IV drugs uses? So basically, previous history of cancer. Cauda equina syndrome is very, very important. As a physician, you must know that cauda equina is the lowest portion where all the nerves are coming. And if they are compressed by any means, whether by disc or by cancer or by growth or by tuberculosis, they will all have these symptoms like bladder bowel, motor weakness, sensory weakness, central anesthesia, and of course fracture. You suspect when somebody is taking steroid. An infection can occur. Somebody has a recurrent UTI, somebody is an immunosuppressive, somebody's IV drug uses, or maybe surgery in the past. So that can lead to infection. Mechanical back pain is the sudden onset of pain after proactive activity. So आप कुछ कर रहे थे, suddenly हो गया with an intermittent course. Subsequently is highly suggestive of a mechanical basis for the symptom. Mechanical back pain is almost always aggravated by general and specific activity. Means relief by rest. डॉक्टर साहब मैं आराम करता हूँ ठीक हो जाता है. जब मैं थोड़ा सा उठाता हूँ किताब को तो मुझे दर्द होना शुरू हो जाता है. So general and specific. कोई जनरल एक्टिविटी में चलता हूं तो दर्द होता है बैक में, सीढ़ी पे चढ़ता हूं तो दर्द होता है, मैं साहब टॉयलेट में बैठता हूं तो दर्द होता है, जब मैं रेस्ट करता हूं तो ठीक हो जाता है. दिस इज ऑल पॉइंट आउट टू ए मैकेनिकल नेचर ऑफ बैक एक. सो मैकेनिकल नेचर मींस इट इज अराइजिंग फ्रॉम डिस्क, facet joint or a bone, and much easier to take care. There is another condition which is inflammatory backache, which we deal as a rheumatologist because they are younger patients. That's why it is written younger onset. मान पेशेंट कहेगा सर मुझे एक्चुअली बैकएक साहब थोड़ा थोड़ा होता था, मैं 16-17 साल का था, अब बढ़ गया है. सो यंग एज, इंसीरियस ऑनसेट, कोई चोट वोट नहीं लगी, धीरे धीरे हो रहा है, इंप्रूव्स विद एक्सरसाइज. सब में दिन में ठीक रहता हूँ, चलता फिरता हूँ, बट जब मैं रेस्ट करता हूँ तो ज्यादा हो जाता है. मॉर्निंग स्टिफनेस एंड पेन एट नाइट, सब सो रहे हैं, ये उठा हुआ है. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इन्फ्लेमेटरी बैकएक. So this crowd always should recognize, is it an inflammatory pain or it's a non-inflammatory pain. Inflammatory pain means an autoimmune inflammation, and immune inflammation is characteristic as pain in the night after the rest. You must remember. So he will say I'm all right, but in the night he has pain. The difference is mechanical can occur at any age. This is at younger age. This is more common in male. This spondyloarthropathy more common in the males, and it is a generally this mechanical pain is generally acute in onset. Means कट से होता है. मतलब आपको वो कहेगा कि सब में कोई पलंग खिसका रहा था तो मुझे हो गया, so acute. जबकि this is subacute in onset. Morning stiffness is present, as I said, and pain is relieved by activity, and pain is worsened by rest, and no neurodeficit, but they have a pain in the gluteal and hip pain, and seen in any profession, which is commonly seen in sedentary sitting jobs people. So mechanical pain, as I said, inflammatory versus non-inflammatory. Red flag versus the white flag, or you must remember this. So this is how prolapse, how it is diagnosed. You all know prolapse is basically a pain which is spread of pain to the leg. It suggests nerve root compression. Pain is aggravated by coughing or sneezing. Referred pain is rarely felt below the knee, whereas pain due to root irritation may spread to the calf or even to the foot. Pain from first and second lumbar root involvement is usually confused with hip disease. So sometimes even you feel it is because it concentrates around the groin. Discogenic pain is frequently increased by maintaining one posture over a period of time, prolonged walking, prolonged sitting, or prolonged standing. So prolapsed disc, I think we should able to diagnose. Any evidence of neurological compromise, like we said about cauda equina, which is a medical emergency, because it is either due to massive herniation or it is by tumor, compressing the nerve of the cauda equina, causing urinary retention, water flow, cerebral anesthesia, bilateral sciatica, leg weakness, fecal incontinence, sciatica caused by nerve root irritation, sharp burning pain down posterior or lateral leg, foot or ankle, can be associated with numbness, tingling. It is due to disc herniation, often worsens with cough, sneeze, or performing the Valsalva maneuver. So basically, a pain which is arising because the nerve root is compressed, and nerve pain means tingling, numbness. That is, while cauda equina can cause even a motor weakness, or it can cause bladder and bowel involvement. Physical involvement, physical examination is same, like you test the L5 or S1 by these test by walk on heels or walk on tiptoes or antalgic gait, shuffling gait. So all this thing can be done. Basically, spinal stenosis, you can make out when they walk slowly, slightly flexed, while neurological disorder or rigidity or spasticity by shuffling gait. Clinical examination, you can do look, MRI has changed everything. Otherwise, a straight leg raising test or a Faber test can be done, and of course the neurological examination. And these tests are done for the spinal movements in spondyloarthropathy. So SLR can be done. You read about SLR. Basically, you lift the leg and plantar flex it actively and passively. It increases the pressure on the nerve. So that is how it is. Basically, we always feel that it is because of the pressure of the and this I'll not discuss about Patrick test. Sober test, because it pertains to us, so we always keep doing it. So basically, it is to show, to see the spinal movements if it is spine is involved. So we read about this. Basically, we always see when when you bend like this, it is increases this normally, and if it is this, if the movement is less, then it doesn't increases. 5 centimeter and all that details you can read. This is how SI joint is examined, because there is another joint, sacroiliac joint, which we know this is involved in SPA. So sacroiliac joint best seen by MRI or X-ray or a CT scan. But there are some tests is also there. Actually, these tests are practically speaking have gone out of fashion. Investigation you can do. You can do the all normal TLC, CBC, and CRP shows the inflammation. Serum chemistry, because you have to do so especially calcium and alkaline phosphatase, and serum protein electrophoresis for multiple myeloma and HLA-B27. You can do a bone scan, and you must remember, if somebody asks you what is the most important thing which bone scan diagnose, which it can diagnose the metastasis. That is important. And now bone scans are coming up for the detection of infection, especially the 111 labeled leukocytes, and osteonecrosis can be diagnosed beautifully by the bone scan. Basically, if you want to remember one thing where the bone scan is useful, it is to diagnose the metastasis. Of course, you can do X-ray like bilateral sacroiliitis. You can see the bamboo spine. You can see the spondylolisthesis, look how the movements of the vertebra. So MRI is a gold standard basically to diagnose this pathology, tumor, infection, and of course also the herniated disc and spinal stenosis, which can be appreciated on the film. And of course the T1 and T2 images can be seen, and um, this is how a CT scan, MRI versus CT scan advantage and disadvantage are there, which I don't want probably because of lack of time. But you must read about the MRI does not require the use of ionizing radiation, so MRI is safer and produces excellent sagittal sections, produces excellent soft tissue detail, and intradural lesions such as tumors again can be seen, MRI signal is not impeded by bone, which results in better images in the posterior fossa and base of the brain. Disadvantage of MRI, we all know that first you go in that country is a claustrophobic and scan time is longer for MRI. Patient of pain may find it difficult for, if not possible, to be stand still for time required. So some advantage and disadvantage are there. This is the disease which is close to my heart, which I call it is spondyloarthropathy or spinal arthritis or ankylosing spondylitis. We must diagnose at this stage. And as I said, if somebody young male has a inflammatory arthritis, means he'll become worse in the morning, then you can pick up because today treatment is available. Otherwise, he'll become like this. So that is the most important thing. So I always call it spinal arthritis. I think my time is up. So what I'll do, I'll skip these slides and I will straightway goes to the last conclusion of my. So diagnostic approach should be common causes first. So common causes means you must know that most common cause is lumbar strain or lumbar sprain. So you must diagnose if somebody is coming with backache, hardly 2 or 3 days duration, and he's telling a clear-cut history that it started suddenly after some activity. So it's a lumbar strain or lumbar sprain or acute lumbago. Then the second question you must answer is mechanical versus inflammatory. As I said, if somebody says, Dr. Saab, I have more pain in the morning, then it's inflammatory in nature, otherwise it's mechanical. And so I send then what is the clues to the anatomical level of history and physical examination. And once you, after reviewing the results of investigation, then you see, does it fit with your clinical syndrome? So backache is as important as chest pain. Physicians know very well about chest pain, but they must remember the cause of the backache. And the most important causes, which I'm again repeating, is first is the lumbar strain, or it is a disc herniation, or it is an osteoarthritis of the spine, that is age-related changes, or osteoarthritis of the facet joint, which all people have, or you should not miss a common cause like SPA if it is inflammatory in nature, and one should not, if some elderly people come with backache, should not miss a fracture or a tumor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And when somebody comes with a backache, you must ask, does he have a uveitis? Does he have some skin issue? Some has a psoriasis, or somebody has a history of IBD, because these extra articular features has to be seen to diagnose the SPA. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks.